So I like in your sentences or in your objectives, in objective statements, I like the idea that you use the word use. So the students will be able to, the learners will be able to use. Do you remember the structure I gave you last time about how to formulate the objectives of the drama?
The what? Yes.
The what? The how and which way? The what? Remember? The what and why?
What, why, to what?
Yes. This structure gives me an idea about my lesson plan. So I have here the target language, and I have here the rational, because we don't do anything without the rational, and I have here the last activity that I have in the production stage. So when I get to the end, I have to see this activity. And it has to be an activity. It doesn't have to be an exercise. You know the difference between activity, task, and exercise? Right, so I want it to be activity, communication, okay, interaction. There should be, and it has to be related to real life situations, or at least it should be quasi real life. Okay, great. So if we want to apply the same structure here, so the learners will be able to use what?
Target language.
Target language. Appropriate language. Okay. So the end I have the role play. The purpose is to express complaints and to give tips, and also we use the appropriate language. And here I will highlight something that I skipped in the lesson, and just I want you to try to spot out what are the things that I skipped. Did you notice? At least 3 things I skipped them. Of course, on purpose. Warm up, I skipped it, but it was not like I just feel we don't need it because I had the warm up with you earlier, okay? But there are things that are actually part of the lesson. There should be there. Practice. Okay, we'll get to that later. So that's the objective. What is the first stage?
Warm up.
Pre-listening.
Pre-listening.
Leading. Yeah, it's actually. So you didn't have the warm-up here,
yes,
but I say we didn't have it. Okay, so the warm-up. And please remember, as I said last time, that the warm-up does not necessarily have to be related to the lesson. Okay, it can be, it's possible that it doesn't have any relationship. But what is important is that we should have here a leading. And so as not to confuse you, leading is part of the first P, which is presentation. Because as I said last time, presentation means different things for different people in different contexts. So when I say leading, just I'm trying to break the steps into like manageable tips, manageable bits. So little steps, so that we have a clear idea about how we organize our lesson. So it's all the presentation, but in the presentation we have also different steps. Does it make sense? And in this presentation, we have different like sub-stages. Small stages. It is actually self-explanatory here. Leading. We need what?
We need the students to.
Yes. Okay, so we need the students to our topic, to our lesson. Okay, so it is kind of an introduction, an intro to the lesson, right? So what did I do in the leading stage?
Class to observe and look at the picture. Describe.
Picture exploitation. What else? Before that? So after describing the picture? Because of course the picture is related to the listening.
Yes.
So that's why we call it is leading. So I lead the students first to picture, because after the picture I want to take them to the conversation. I cannot just play the conversation from the very beginning, but I need to prepare the students also to the conversation. So picture, then conversation. They have to listen
and ask some questions.
Yeah, here we have
After that,
comprehension question or focus question. Sumia?
So I think after that the students pay attention to every detail in order to get to the topic that the conversation or the picture wants to tell us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Every details.
Yeah.
As we did.
Yeah. Earlier I asked you just like because you know sometimes I need to give you some tips as how to use the picture. So sometimes when you ask the students to describe, they are short of ideas.
Yes.
And in order to help them overcome this difficulty, what you do is that you provide them with a structure.
Yes.
You say, please describe the colors, describe the clothes, describe how many people, describe what they are doing. And then at a certain moment, they find themselves able to describe the picture and give a lot of details and give a lot of information too. So that they don't feel blocked, either because of they lack language or just they don't know what information they are going to use. So we have here, they listen to the conversation and we have a focus question.
Yes, focus questions.
These focus questions or these comprehension questions, how many items should you devise?
It's
How many? So is it going to be, a long list?
No.
Just one or?
Not just about like 1, 2 to 3.
Just one? Okay. Yeah, because what is important here, focus question 1, max 2. Why not more?
They will get confused.
They will get confused?
Because I think 1 to 2 on focus questions, it's like guiding them into the right things.
Yes. How much time first?
2 to 3 minutes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For focus questions.
Yeah.
Come here.
It's a comprehension question.
Okay, it's not the questions you ask the students to describe the picture.
No.
So they can be as many as possible to help the students
Yes.
describe the picture.
Yeah.
But for the focus questions, you mean the questions
Relating to the conversation.
Okay, so after listening to the conversation.
Yes. It all depends. Sometimes you ask the question before and then let them listen. Okay? Or what did I do earlier?
Listen.
I asked you to guess what they are writing,
Yes.
what they are talking about. That's a focus question. So we exploited the picture, and then I asked you what these people are talking about. Then I asked you to listen and check whether your guesses were right or not. And then later on you answered saying that actually they are talking, they are complaining, etc. That's a focus question. It's actually a comprehension question. The reason why I ask it is just I want to make sure that the students understand the gist of the conversation. So that when I want them to focus on the target structures, I don't want them to face 2 difficulties at a time. The difficulty of comprehension and the difficulty of the target language. So I want to make sure that they are clear and they have a clear idea about what the topic of the conversation is.
Yes, again.
Right? So it's actually a comprehension question. Let me write it here. Timing. How much time does this will this take?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 to 4 to 5.
Okay. Yeah. 3. It all depends on how long the conversation is.
Yes.
Okay. But let us say it shouldn't take more than 4 minutes. So the reason why we have this conversation is that we want to introduce or to present the target structure in context. Okay. So present